Hey guys, Neka here, and I thought I'd just go through and answer some questions, I guess. I've been getting some comments, getting some questions, I've been answering them, but I feel like more people need to know, you know? So, I have looked through and picked out a few to answer. First one is someone was wondering if I could make a video about Hero Gear. And if you are a paying player, then or like really dedicated and find a way as a free player, you could do this. I would recommend not even bothering if you do not have named link balls, though. You need the named link balls in order to get the hero gear. I do still have my friend's account up, so let me go here. Alright. So, as you see, she's got some link gear in here already, right? And if you go to the hero gear shop, which let's go here, gear market. You see, you'll have the basic, then the upgraded, and then the third upgraded tiers. So you have elf, crystal, and bright, and they cost fairly, you know, quite a bit in order to get these. Doesn't matter if you get the higher end ones or the lower end ones, just try and get what you can afford if you are going for this. But like I said, if you do not have that extra stuff to link it, then you're wasting your time. I did say before I was gonna do a more in-depth thing on this, but really, I feel like it's a waste of time because a lot of people are just playing free, and those who are spending already know, or they might have a good idea about this. But yeah, so with each um, with each gear part, they have different types of passive abilities. Like this one is immune to all debuffs, and it is linked to a Pokemon. And then this Pokemon here, whichever you put in there, is giving stats to whatever this Pokemon is. You're getting like 50% of the stats towards the Pokemon that you haven't linked to. Has to be a named link ball. And then you got pet anti-injury, 99%. Rage skill for every attack. So always have rage skill up. Each attack deals damage equal to 70% of attack to a single enemy unit and adds defense 5%. Attack cannot trigger crit. So you're immune to crit. All the they need to rewrite this a little bit. This one's not even linked, but you get 2 actions per round. So if you were assassin, you went to attack, you get another attack. That's basically all you really need to know. You can enhance these if you want to do so. She's already done some of it. She hasn't focused on this one because it's not linked to anything. And if it's not linked to anything, it's absolutely useless. You don't get no stats out of it. So, I hope that answers most of your questions. This is just more upgrading and stats. Okay, so on to the next one. The next one is how much coupons should we spend in a day to get super Pokemon and skins and stuff. So that's going back to, if we go to events here, you got Lucky Egg, you got skins here, and you got, well, another Lucky Egg. This one's for gear. And 2 Scratch Lottos, okay? Which one is this? Okay, this is for the unique artifacts. Does it have more than this? I wish this would allow me to scroll through it faster. Boy, it's really going for it. And then it's got the exclusive named artifacts. So, you know, this one's Jirachi, Cresselia, Pikachu, and Christmas Ninetales. And then other stuff. And then this one here, you have some decent Pokemon. You got the special artifacts. Here's where you can get a Link Ball, but it's not a named Link Ball. Note that, okay? It's a Link Ball, but not a named Link Ball. These 3 right here are fully upgraded. The ones before it were not, okay? So let's go back here. All of these are not fully upgraded. If you get these, they're not fully upgraded. And then for the Link Balls itself, you would have to do like, what is it? The Super Exchange. To get the name Link Balls, you would have to get Link Balls in the first place and then trade the Link Balls for that. Now, as far as how much to spend on this, it really depends because it is RNG. It is random. There is no, set thing. You could get it on your first scratch. You could get what you need after 500 scratches. There's no telling. But there is I would say around 500 coupons, you'd most likely get one of the fully upgraded Pokemon. Maybe. Like 500 to 800. And then, yeah, it's a lot. But it could be a lot lower too. If you're really lucky, then you'll get it. But there's really no set amount. So I hope that helps you out. There's really not much to say about that. The other question is, where do you get Fantasy Stone, or where do you use Fantasy Stones? Okay, so Fantasy Stones are primarily for upgrading unique artifacts, and you get them from doing your battle chests. You get it from battle chests, and you can get it from some other means. But let's go to hero. Or no, sorry. Let's go to the artifact itself. Okay, so we got an artifact here, and we can enhance this artifact. This is where you use those Fantasy Stones, but it has to be a unique artifact. It cannot be the plain artifact. Plain artifact doesn't use those. So if you have a unique artifact, whether it's one of these that's specialized for that specific Pokemon, or just one like this, it's a water one, you can enhance it here as well, and this gives it a little more stats. So That's where you go for those. Another question would be, why did I remove my Kyogre, and why did I put in 2 legendary dogs in my lineup? Now, if you noticed my last video, I did not have 2 of the legendary dogs, but I did. So, the reason I had the legendary dogs in the first place would be that I wanted that extra 20% damage coming from them if they hit on, a whole row. And the reason that I took out the Kyogre is because if you do not have enough resources to boost up a Kyogre enough, or Groudon or Rayquaza, whichever, they fall short later on. They really do. It would be good to have just as a buffer. As you know, when it uses its skill, it gives the bonus attack buff to your Pokemon. So that would be the only reason I would have it in, and I might eventually swap it out for, this sweet Pokemon right here, because I was expecting to be more active in getting these sweet Pokemon, but I wasn't. So now I've swapped it out for the Gyarados. Another question is, how do I get the shield on Pokemon when I do PvP? So, shields are only limited to Y Assassin Pokemon. Meaning, this Mew Y here is going to get a shield. Okay? We'll go to the Mega Evolve here. We'll see this. If you go into X form, what do you get? You get Dark Resistance plus 30%. They both do. Here's where it changes. If you get the X form, you get full initial rage. Meaning you'll have that full rage bar to start doing more attacks right off the bat. But if you choose the Y form, you get immune to damage 5 times after receiving an attack. That's where you get that shield from. Total damage bonus 35%. Damage reduction 35%. Notice this is more defensive, this is more offensive. Crit damage 150% and self-defense 150%. Now the reason I choose Y is because once I get that shield, I can stay in the game longer. If I was strong enough, then I'd probably switch to the X form. But if I don't feel comfortable, I think that it's just not going to cut it. I want it to survive and stay in longer. I get that shield, I get that damage reduction, I stay in the game. The only exception to this is Mewtwo X. He gets the shield, but nothing else. Nothing else triggers a shield. So, I hope that helps your answer there. Another question would be, why does the Iron Fist start not at its usual time in the European server? Also, the time of getting shards and sweet Pokemon is also not correct. So, I don't know if this person's meaning that it's not starting when it should as the European time, or if it's not starting at the usual time, what it would be for like the North American servers. So I guess I would say if they might have it set so that it's still starting at the same time as the North American servers, which then they would need to fix it. But if you're expecting the regular North American server times on the European, and they changed it up for the European to make it European time, that would be why. I started an account on there, but I didn't really play too long, so I wish I could answer you a little bit better. So I think that'll do it for this Q&A. I'll get out some more Q&As in the future, but I hope you liked this video. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. See ya!